Picking it out. How did you hear about his actual when he actually passed?
His son called me. Benny called me. I was on my way up there. I was living in Las Vegas at the time, and Benny called me and he said, "My dad is, you need to get up here. He wants to see you." I said, "Well, I'll be there in a week or so. I got to clean everything up here, get everything set up." He goes, "No, Ray, he doesn't have any time." I said, "Well, I'll hurry as much as I can." And I drove to Bakersfield and stayed the night. And then I was headed up to his house. And Benny Haggard called me about 9 o'clock in the morning. And he said, "Ray, Dad took the 9 o'clock train." I knew what that meant.
Mm.
And I said, "Well, this is the call I've dreaded all my life." Uh, I said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Well, you need to come up here." I said, "I'm on my way." And I drove up there that night. But it was shocking, even though I knew it was coming and he told me it was coming. And it stuns you still. And I was in shock, I know, but I had friends come and help me, like Kip Sullivan, Lauren Stumbaugh, Chuck Seaton. Uh, they all came around me and grabbed me and they said, "Let's go somewhere." So I said, "Okay." So we went to the bars where Merle used to hang out and play. We went to his favorite restaurants. We went to his homes. And they saved me through the day because I'd say that day I almost just passed out 4 times, and I have to put my head down and try to put blood to my head so I wouldn't just pass out.
Mm.
But all of that day, I still reverberated to what he said. "I'm going home to see my dad." When he was sick in Palm Springs, about 4 months before that, he said, "If this cancer is back," he was sitting in a wheelchair and he had his smock on already in the emergency room in Palm Springs. And he said this, Andrew. He said, "If this cancer is back," and he had had a bout with cancer 8 years before in his lung, they had to take a third of his lung out. He said, pointed to the heavens, and he said, to me and Benny, and there's a few other people in there, he said, "If this cancer is back, I'm not going to let him treat it. I'm going home to see my dad."
Mm.
I'll never forget it. That was verbatim, and he meant it.
Yeah.
He wanted to go home and see his dad. He hadn't seen him in 70 years, and look what happened. He became the greatest country music star in the world.
Mm.
And his dad wasn't there to share it.